Today we're diving into a topic that is near and dear to my heart: how to find a job in the exciting world of medical coding. Whether you're just starting out or looking to switch careers, I definitely have some insider information for you, so let's get into it. By the way, I'm Victoria. I'm a medical coder, auditor, educator, and content creator, and on my channel I provide tips, tricks, and tutorials to help you be successful in a medical coding career. If you haven't already, I highly encourage you to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get alerts when I post new episodes. Now, what does it take to be a medical coder? Of course, things like attention to detail, being able to analyze lots of data, read medical records, understanding of medical terminology and anatomy. But what employers are really looking for is certifications, specifically those through AAPC or AHIMA. So if your certification isn't through AAPC or AHIMA, you want to get one through AAPC or AHIMA. Other certifications are great, but that is what employers are really looking for. The other thing that they are really looking for is experience. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have tons of experience in medical coding, but having an internship or externship will really give you that competitive edge. A lot of programs don't include an externship. The AAPC has what they call project extern, but it is so very hit or miss if you actually get in and get placed anywhere, which is why I personally vouch for and recommend Preppy. You can find out more about Preppy at medicalcodingmasterclass.com. My Medical Coding Masterclass is a free career masterclass that you can sign up for. It tells you all about a career in medical billing and coding, the certifications, salary expectations, day in the life. It gives you that full blueprint of how do I go from someone with no healthcare experience to someone who is job ready as a medical biller and coder in as little as 6 months without having to pay a ton in tuition or take out student loans. So you can find out everything you need to know to make an informed decision if this career is right for you. And it talks about the program that I fully recommend, which is Preppy, which does offer an externship, which is one of the many reasons that I recommend it to all of my viewers. Again, you can find out more at medicalcodingmasterclass.com, or the link will be in the description below. Now, once you're ready, you've completed your certification, you're all prepped, and you want to find a job, one of the top places to look is things like Indeed.com. You can check Google Jobs. Those are some great places to start for with your search. Some of the terms you can look at are things like CPC or medical coder or medical coding. But don't forget to maybe just search by keywords. So instead of typing medical coder, you might want to type ICD-10-CM, because that's going to bring up all of those jobs that are looking for that skill set. So they might not be necessarily titled medical coding specialist, but they will have some sort of aspect where you need to know medical codes. This is an especially good tactic if you are an entry-level person and you don't have a lot of medical coding experience. You might want to find some jobs that will get you that foot in the door. So while they might not necessarily be a medical coding job, they are medical coding adjacent, so you can get that experience and that hands-on work in the revenue cycle somewhere. The next place you want to go and look is at your AAPC local chapters or AHIMA local chapters, because this is where you can network. This is where you can connect with all of the people who are already working in the field. They know what the good companies are to work for. They know what postings they've seen. They know if job openings are going to be coming soon in their organization. Now, a lot of local chapters are only meeting in person maybe once or twice a year. Go to these if you can, because seeing these people face to face and making that in-person connection is so valuable. But not everyone can make it to in-person, because it might be that your local chapter is several hours away. I know in some of the Hawaii states they have to travel to literally another island to get to their local chapter. So just pay attention if you sign on virtually. Oftentimes there's going to be a component of the presentation where they're going over chapter business. Sometimes it's in the beginning, sometimes it's at the end. And that is when they often have people present if they know of job openings, or you can present and say, hey, I'm newly certified, I'm looking for a position. If anyone knows of anything, definitely let me know, or ask where you can send your resume. You can also take advantage of all of these different groups within the social media universe, things like Facebook. There's groups like Jobs for American Medical Coders and Jobs for, if you do like risk adjustment, there's a risk adjustment Facebook group where recruiters will go in and say, hey, I've got a project, I'm hiring for 100 coders for a 9-month contract, and that is a great place to connect. So sign up for all of these different medical coding job groups. I think there might even be some on Reddit, but keep an eye out, monitor them fairly actively so that you can keep abreast of any positions that are opening up and all of those postings that are happening. but make sure you're very carefully reading these postings. I know it tends to frustrate recruiters when they put on there something like, this is a full-time position, and people will ask and be like, oh, well, is it a part-time position? Well, no, it said full-time. Just read the description of what it all is. Another great tip is to go directly to the websites of these healthcare organizations or insurance companies, because oftentimes they have so many people that are trying to get into certain organizations that they don't really spend a lot of time promoting or posting it outside of that, because they have so many people just flooding in as it is. Now, if you go to a hospital or healthcare organization website, a lot of them organize their coding positions differently than some of their other healthcare organizations. So they might be under allied health, they might be under administrative. Some of them you can just search very easily and type in something like CPC or coder and it will come up. So don't just search coder and then if nothing comes up, you just abandon ship. Look around a little bit, search for things again like ICD-10-CM to see if there's any job descriptions where they need someone who's skilled in ICD-10-CM. Depending on your methodology of how you're searching or what categories you're looking at, you can get very different results. There used to be some great websites specifically for medical coding jobs, and I haven't seen them come back in a couple of years now. The AAPC does have a job board. What has been posted on it most recently, though, has been more experienced specialty positions. So if you're someone who has a few years experience or is trained in a certain specialty, that might be a good one, but I'm not right now seeing a ton of entry-level positions. Honestly, I think the reason for that is because the AAPC charges in order to post positions on their job board, and because there is such a plethora of people looking for entry-level coding positions, I don't think that people feel that it's worthwhile to invest money into promoting a entry-level position when they can just very easily find someone without having to pay for that. One of the biggest ways, though, that people are finding jobs now is LinkedIn. You follow lots of people in the medical coding realm, like myself, and you connect with recruiters, the CSIs, Judge, Optum360, all of these large organizations. And make sure you keep a nice professional profile, all of your work history up to date, your applicable skills. When recruiters are going in and they're looking for someone on LinkedIn to fill a position, they search by skills. They have a portal, and the portal in it, they just search for key terms. So they might search for something like Epic Systems. And if you have worked with Epic, you want to make sure that's in your skill set so that when they are searching for those terms, that you get pulled up in that search. Keep your certifications listed there. As far as your certification number, that is your AAPC ID number. That is where you put under your certifications. You make sure that everything with your certifications is listed under the certifications for your education, not that you are employed by the AAPC. You don't want to make it look like the AAPC is your employer unless your paycheck says AAPC on it. You want to make sure that those are under your certifications, not your employment. It's fine to put under your header. Some people, if you're, let's say, not working at the time, you can customize your header on LinkedIn. So instead of saying like unemployed or searching for a job, you can put in there certified medical coder. And also put your credentials behind your name. So instead of Mary Smith, put Mary Smith, CPC. And include a nice photo, because that does tend to garner the attention of people more, because they can make a more personal connection. It doesn't have to be a glamour shot. It can just be something, from the shoulders up, showing your head. Sometimes local chapters will have professional development days where they will have someone who comes in and takes headshots. Sometimes local business organizations will do that as well. So check like your small business development. But a big word of caution that I do want to issue is, I know the AI headshots have been really, really popular, and I've even had some that I've used for little pieces of content here and there. Now, here's my word of caution. LinkedIn is having a big issue right now with fake bot accounts. And one of the way they identify bots is by determining if the headshot on the account has been AI generated and the content in the account has been AI generated. Not saying if you use an AI headshot, you'll definitely be deleted, but the continual AI content might flag LinkedIn to go, oh my gosh, is this a bot account? So you do take on a little bit of risk by using a ton of AI content, especially AI generated headshots on LinkedIn. And some of them do look very, very good at first, but you can see little nuanced things like the fingers might look funny, or a collar might have like a third flap to it, or earrings or necklaces that aren't really connected anywhere or different sizes. But yeah, connect with recruiters. Some of the companies too that you want to connect with, Optum360, Coro Health, the Coding Network, United Health Group, CSI, Cigna, Change Healthcare, and Imagine Solutions. And you can even search for jobs on LinkedIn and narrow it down by things like experience level. Honestly, I feel like LinkedIn is almost replacing the resume anymore, but not entirely. But a lot more people are finding jobs just based off of LinkedIn. Now, resumes, do keep those up to date. If you're not good at doing resumes, try one of the templates that they have in Word or Google Doc. But if you really can't do it yourself, hire a service. Hire someone like projectresume.net. Sarah over at Caffeinated Coder does them. Marissa, I think, is still doing them. Marissa, feel free to drop a link in the comments if you want to promote your resume services. So make sure your resume is really highlighting any transferable skills. So of course you hand in your resume and then you're going to want to get an interview. So really work on your elevator pitch with your interviews. Things like, tell us about yourself. Why do you want to work here? What are your goals? What do you have to offer the organization? And I also want to say, don't be afraid to switch jobs. A lot of people are afraid now because they're like, oh, I've only been at this organization for 4 months or 5 months and it's not for me. You'll probably do a lot more damage to yourself mentally than you will damaging yourself from switching jobs. Most people switch jobs a lot anymore. It's not like when my parents were working where they graduated high school and got a job at the local factory and worked there until the day they died. And oftentimes switching jobs is the best way to get salary increases. Get that bag. One of my favorite things about medical coding is there is just so much career growth and so many different opportunities out there. But one of the best ways to be job ready is to go through a program that prepares you with the right certifications, with the right experience, things like Preppy. Again, head on over to medicalcodingmasterclass.com to find out more because I do endorse Preppy. But get connected with other professionals, work on your resume, work on your job skills. The healthcare industry is constantly evolving and you need to evolve and grow too. So are you looking for your first or a new job in medical coding in 2024? Definitely let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. If you need some more tips on how to find a job, definitely check out this video right here. But for now, just keep on coding on.